Orphans have been with us since the fall of mankind. Whether they lose their parents to death or abandonment, the result is the same. Children without parents are the most vulnerable people in the world. They're far more susceptible to mental, physical, and emotional damage, and they're far more likely to be impoverished or trafficked. At Romania Reborn, we see the plight of orphans firsthand. Every day, we see children who have been abused, neglected, malnourished, and abandoned. We see over 50,000 children growing up in a child welfare system out of which very few will escape. This was not God's design. Even though orphans have been with us from the beginning, the Bible never mentions the word orphanage. It doesn't talk about children's homes. It says God sets the lonely in families. It says open your home to the stranger. And most powerfully, it tells us that through salvation, God has adopted us into His own family. God's heart for orphans is that they should become sons and daughters. At Romania Reborn, this is our vision. In 2 decades of ministry, we've placed over 400 orphans into Romanian adoptive families. We've built a support network for foster and adoptive parents, and we've helped start a national orphan care movement driven not by Americans, but by the Romanian church. Since the early days, Christians have been marked by caring for orphans. James wrote that true religion is caring for orphans and widows and keeping oneself unstained by the world. In keeping with that legacy, many churches mark this Sunday as Orphan Sunday. On this day, we invite you to consider what your role could be in caring for orphans. We invite you to pray for these vulnerable children and for the families who take them in. We invite you to consider joining us at Romania Reborn and helping us build families through adoption. We invite you to share God's heart that not one child should remain an orphan.